ahead. Come on, take your place. Nice place.
Thanks.
I yield back the balance of my time.
No, I don't. I reserve it.
Mrs. Dingle, thank you very much. You've got your red dress on. That certainly helps out the older guys in the crowd to pay attention properly.
I yield back. Oh, I don't. I reserve. I'm sorry. I'm terribly emotional today.
Pleasant change of pace.
This will be a 2-minute vote. Hit this.
Hello, America.
Under the previous order, the leadership time. Under the previous order.
If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask you for a glass of milk.
I met with the fasteners today from Ohio. This is folks in Ohio who make nuts and bolts.
And if you give him a glass of milk, he's going to ask for a straw.
I had the fasteners in here this week. These are the people that make nuts and bolts.
If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to want some milk.
We're happy to have a good fastener industry in Ohio.
At some point, I respectfully suggest you cut off the mouse's supply of cookies.
Are you really going to ask such a stupid question?
I'd like to thank the president, too. No, you're not hearing things.
I take the chairman's point, but it's one that really doesn't make any sense.
I praised the president last week. Several of you almost fainted.
To encounter procedural snafu, 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 procedural snafu.
They've been through these kinds of snafu.
Remind me, what does snafu stand for?
This is a family program, John. You might call that a scheduling snafu.
The president's a smart guy, went to Harvard, but I consulted a little bit higher and smarter authority last night.
Teach the president a lesson. A lesson. Here's the lesson. This will teach him a lesson.
What in the heck are we doing?
Man, that's going to teach him a lesson. Woo.
I would yield. Where'd you go?
Oh, for those of us that are anal enough to want to read these things.
Kaput. It's over.
I am anal enough. I'll get these bills and read them. So that's what I did.
I bent over backwards to accommodate his desires.
I am being sarcastic. Liberals have trouble understanding sarcasm sometimes.
56 cents. 57 cents. Say it again. 70 cents.
You know, I'm going to interject myself. You didn't ask me the question, but I'm going to answer.
Since January 2003. Now that's, 15 years ago, roughly.
I'll answer that.
This is a priority.
Ferguson could happen in any place in America, whether or not it be in Ruby Ridge, Utah, or wherever Ruby Ridge was.
It is a priority. When everything is a priority, nothing is a priority.
Listening to this debate, you'd think that the lesser prairie chicken was single-handedly providing aid and comfort to the enemy.
Former presidential candidate will try and beat up the body.
Oh, down goes Holyfield!
And this effort to give local police, and I show 1 minute and 41 seconds, sir.
And the gentleman's time has expired.
I'm getting shorted on my time. But what can I say?
The gentleman from Georgia was yielded 1.5 minutes. Therefore, he is correct. He was 11 seconds over.
Thanks.